Should we or should we not think about studying abroad with everything that's going on in the world? This is a question that is perhaps bothering most students planning to go and study abroad in 2025. Here's a good article that I was reading yesterday. I couldn't help but share it with all of you because I do definitely share this sentiment. Hi, I am Asmita, your mentor here at Vedantu Study Abroad. And no, I have no personal incentive here to encourage you to go and study abroad. I teach various exams. IELTS just happens to be one of the many tests that I teach students for. I've also taught SAT. But apart from that, I've been preparing students for CUET and SSC, banking, CBSE, class 10, class 12 exams. So I am not biased in any way as a teacher to encourage you to go and study abroad. But as somebody who has lived in many different places, including the United States of America, I will tell you that as a person, as a human being, I definitely encourage and recommend that if you can afford it, if you are able to do it, then you should definitely go and study abroad. I cannot emphasize enough how valuable this experience is going to be for you. If you stay in an environment that further constricts you, that keeps drilling your identity into your brain that, hey, you are nothing but an Indian, you have to be nationalistic, that kind of polarization is not good for anybody. That kind of polarization keeps you where you are. And what political parties want you to be at the end of the day is just a vote, nothing else. You have to expand. You have to widen your perspective as much as possible. You have to break the barriers of your own thought. And nothing helps you do that better than studying abroad. The second thing I would suggest is a lot of reading, but studying abroad is definitely more exciting than reading. Right? So this article, what was said here was worth sharing, which is why I'm sharing it with you. Study abroad, borders can't hold back dreams, why education must rise above geopolitics. Now you have to bear in mind that this is not the first time in history that there have been tensions, geopolitical tensions. The world has never been a peaceful place. If the world was a peaceful place, your history books and your geography books would have looked a lot different. They look the way they are because tensions have always existed and will continue to exist. Do not let the politics of your nation and geopolitics come in your way. Don't let these things be a roadblock for your exploration. Global education fosters adaptability and resilience, essential for navigating complex challenges and contributing meaningfully to society. At the end of the day, if you look at anybody who is mentioned today as somebody that can be looked up to, as a role model, as an inspiration, that person has not just benefited one community, one country. That person has benefited the world. That person has given the world something, even if that means our freedom fighters, the sort of ethics that they worked with, the sort of message that they had, the sort of fight that they fought was inspiration for the world, not just Indians. If you look at Nelson Mandela, you learn about him in English in class 10th. What he did was not just for South Africa. What he did was an inspiration for the world to fight against injustice. And so nobody worth their salt, worth mentioning for, is ever confined in their ideology. They're never confined in their fight. Their fight is always for the greater good. And so if you wish to become like that, even in some capacity, even a little bit in your life, then you have to understand how the world works. You have to see beyond borders. You have to see beyond nationality. And the only way you can do that is when you actually talk to people from all over the world. At the end of the day, it's about humanity, right? We live, the politics right now is a bit different from the politics of my childhood. At least in my childhood, hyper-nationalism was not something that was trending around the world. It is now, and I know you've sort of grown up with that. But that that makes it all the more necessary for you to travel, for you to see the world, for you to communicate with other people, for you to make friends who are not Indians, for you to talk to professors, researchers, scholars, professionals who are not Indian, because they will help you break through the shackles that have been put. And I'm not going to put any kind of political blame over here. I'm not even going to bash social media or news media right now. That's just how the world is functioning currently for whatever reasons. That's not what this video is about. This video is about you, your journey, what you need to do. And so for y'all, those of you who have just reached 11th standard or 12th standard, I think it's all the more important for you to break out of that mindset, because you've been forced into a very constricted mindset, a very constricted sense of identity. All right, so here a line that I really liked and is worth mentioning is, education is not just about crossing physical borders, but about expanding the boundaries of thought. Right? Yes, maybe if a country has become hostile with ours, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't enter their physical borders, but that's not what education is about at the end of the day. Education is not about, I want to get into America somehow, or I want to get into the UK somehow. It's about exploration. It's about breaking barriers of thought. And so that can happen anywhere. Another really good thing that this article mentioned was that institutions that are revered almost, you know how we revere religious places? These institutions are like the peak religious places of education, the Ivy Leagues, your Oxford, your Stanford, your Cambridge, Columbia, Harvard. These institutions have been around for so long. You can't build such a reputation in a day. Obviously, they've been here for hundreds of years, and the reason why they are what they are is because they withstood many, many eras of turmoil, right? So it's not just now that there are issues happening. These universities have fought through many periods of unrest, and that is why they are what they are, because these universities might exist physically in a particular country, but these universities are never about a country. They're about the world. They're about humanity. Education is about humanity, right? If you read about the older institutions in India that we talk about, be it Nalanda, Takshashila, people used to come to these places from all over the world. That's what made these universities great. They were center of knowledge for the world, not India, right? So education, health, science, all of these things are beyond countries. They are for humanity. And so if you think that this particular turmoil, or this particular instability is going to shake these institutions, then you're wrong, because they haven't been shaken before, and what's happening right now cannot be worse than a lot of things that have happened in the past. All right? So please do read this part of the passage. The Ivy Leagues do not simply exist to prepare you for your next job. They prepare you for a lifetime of leadership and learning. It is this mindset that sustains students through periods of uncertainty. Institutions such as Columbia, Yale, and Oxford have endured political disruption before, not because they are immune to it, but because their academic cultures are grounded in core principles: rigor, openness, and inquiry, however you want to say it. For students, this means selecting a university not based on temporary immigration headlines, but on where they will be intellectually challenged, mentored, and prepared to contribute meaningfully over time, not just in terms of credentials, but of impact, right? So always remember this. Whenever you read the news, do not freak out about all the little changes that are taking place. Yes, countries will keep changing their visa rules. Yes, some countries will make it easier for you to go abroad. Some countries will make it difficult. But at the end of the day, you have to fight this fight, not for any other reason, but simply for yourself, to become the best possible version of who you are. This article is available on Hindustan Times. It is written by Rahul Subramaniam. You can check it out. And that is a message that I really wanted to get through to all of you today. Hope you understand where I'm coming from and what I'm saying. and think about it. Do leave your thoughts, your reflections in the comments. I would love to hear what you think and what you feel. I will see you next time. Till then, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.